says recording pending. You're recording.
Oh yeah, it's come up.
Okay, I'll just cut that bit out. Okay, we'll make a start. Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for attending our training session today on how to conduct an effective and efficient onboarding induction for new starters to the business. So welcome Sarah and David. As there's only two of us, that's nice and easy to remember. So before we start, as we're on MS Teams, we will recording this for training purposes, as you'll need to receive this to keep a copy so you can recap on anything. Are you both okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yes, I'm happy too.
Cool. Okay, so we're going to start with the welcome and some icebreaking questions. So let's start with an icebreaker to settle the nerves by introducing ourselves and answering a question. If you were to attend Come Down with me, what would you cook for a main course and dessert? I'll start. So my name is Sarah Baker and I work in the Employee Success Department at our head office in Belper. And I've worked for Jevon for 4 years. I started in finance and moved into HR when an opportunity came up 2 years ago. So for my icebreaker, I would go for something nice and easy because I'm not a fancy cook. It has to be my special salmon pasta, and for dessert, it's got to be sticky toffee pudding and custard. Would that be something you would eat and enjoy, or feed it yourselves while in the kitchen fetching drinks?
I would definitely eat it.
There's nothing left for the dogs.
Okay. Okay, Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself and share with us your cooking skills?
Sure. Hi, Sarah and David. I'm Sarah Tallett and I work in the HR department in our Burton branch. I've moved from the finance department as I wanted to expand on my career. I've been working at Jevon for 2 years now and I'm looking forward to becoming a successful HR advisor, which is why I've been asked to attend this course. If I were to cook, I would choose a classic beef bourguignon for main. And for dessert, it would have to be something like chocolate fudge cake because I'm a real chocoholic.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Me too.
Can I come to yours when you do it?
Yeah.
David, would you like to follow on and introduce yourself and share with us your cooking delights?
Yes, indeed. My name is David Pimpton and I work for the Professional Services Department at Leicester branch. We're a small office, so we don't need HR representation. That's dealt with out of head office in Belper. So I've got responsibility for inductions such as health and safety, introducing new starters and onboarding them for our expanding Leicester office. I've actually done Come Dine with me with some friends, and I won with my speciality of lobster thermidor and creme brulee for dessert. But I didn't win any cash, which is unfortunate, but I do get a wine tasting weekend on the 21st of June when everything opens up.
Wow, that all sounds amazing. So thanks for sharing that with me, and hopefully that's got you all feeling a little bit more settled and less nervous. Okay, so there's a few things that we need to check over before we move on. As this is a training session and we do have a few rules that we need to follow, which is me included. So can you please ensure your mobiles are turned off or switched to silent? But if you do need to make any calls, let me know and we can call this. And hopefully you shouldn't receive any work calls, as everyone is aware you're attending this course and shouldn't be disturbing you at this time. Turn off any email notifications, as they can be distracting when they pop up and you may need to feel that you have to look at them.
Okay.
Can we please respect each other? This is a training course and we are all here for a reason. So please don't talk over anyone. If you've got a question that pops up, please pop up your hand and I'll answer as we go. Remember, no questions are silly questions, so please don't hesitate if you need something clarifying. As we're working remotely and using MS Teams, if your internet drops out, I should be able to recognise this as your screen will freeze. So don't worry, I'll be happy to wait for you to reconnect so you don't miss anything. And are you sitting comfortable? This is perhaps normally we would be in the office where this would have been taken care of, but as you're at home, I'm sure in your own space it's much more comfortable than being in the office. Do you got refreshments to keep yourself hydrated? And if you haven't, please pop down and get a drink.
I'm good. I've got a cuppa, thank you.
I'm also good. Thank you very much.
Cool. Okay, then let's make a start. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel to conduct an induction at this time? Sarah, I'll ask you first. So 1 being not at all and 10 being 100% confident.
I would say a 3 for me.
And David?
I'd go a little higher at 4.
Okay, so hopefully by the end of this course, you'll be a lot more close to the 10. And if you're not, I'm not doing my job very well. Okay, so you should, oh, sorry for looking about. You should have received a handout of the course of the presentation via email. Can you confirm you've received this and managed to have a look at it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Excellent. So I'll just go over what we intend to cover today. The course and the overview and objectives of it is the purpose of the onboarding process, obviously, which covers an overview of the Bamboo HR and where it fits into the induction. Any questions at that stage? Right to work, employment law and policies, health and safety, an office tour where we'll finish off with some questions. So it's really important when new employees are joining us at Chevin, we really want to ensure we give them a great start to their introduction to the business. For a couple of reasons, staff who receive a good onboarding, research has been proven that staff retention is around 70% and they stay with the company for 3 years or over. Sarah, do you know how long it takes for an employee to decide they want to remain working for a company?
Is it after a month?
David, what would be your guess?
I'm going for 3 months.
It's actually within the first week. First impressions to be made to feel welcome and being made to feel part of a team and the company culture is so important. We need to get this put in place straight away. We can also help even before the candidate starts. So as soon as the job offer has been accepted, it's a good way to try and build a relationship by making contact with them when you send in the necessary forms. But it's not just a form completing exercise. It's a good way to find out if there's anything they need or any questions or unsureties they've got before they start. Or if they're working remotely, maybe invite them into the office if it's feasible. Ask them if they would prefer to come to the office and collect their equipment or would like it sent to them by courier. This then starts the process off and the rapport is started. It's easy for employment agencies as well to make contact to offer them another role if they're left in the dark. So a week before they start, it's good to go and have a check-in with them to make sure they're happy and then we know they're going to turn up on their first day. So there is a video I'm going to share with you. It's not too long. It should take 2 or 3 minutes. Sit back and enjoy. Okay, so this just goes to show, oh, I'll start again. Stop that. This goes to show how things are changing and how important it is to have an effective onboarding. As you already know, we've got a HR system we use, which is called Bamboo HR, which I know you both access, and you check, as I checked earlier, and I can see you both use it quite regular. You should receive an email from Bamboo HR today after this course, which I've requested for you to become an administrator. This will help you with your onboarding tasks in hand, as there's a template which you have to tick off in Bamboo of everything that we need to capture when we're onboarding new employees. This is also in the handout and here on the presentation. On the presentation. So you will be requested to attend a Bamboo HR course, which I believe will be set up in the next week. It's a great system, and there's the support and the help function is so user friendly. It gives you a walkthrough step-by-step process, either by video or by script, which is nice, as not everybody likes to read instructions. Plus, if there's a function you need help with, but you can't find it in the help and support desk, are really great and always on hand, and they come back really quickly. So before we move on, is there anything you would like to ask me at this stage? Mr. Pimperton?
I'll take myself off mute. When we set up induction meetings for employees, how do we know which employees to contact?
Okay, so when a new employee joins us, the line manager who was requested for the recruit will take lead on the induction. So you'll need to contact them to complete a draft onboarding plan. There should be a copy of this in the email I sent to you, and it looks like this. Has that come up? Or not?
Not yet.
No, is it not showing? Just bear with me. I might have to just share my screen with you. Is it showing?
No, we're still on the slide with the plan. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Ah,
yeah.
Okay. So is, oh crikey, sorry, bear with me. I'm lost. Okay. So when a new employee joins us, that's when the line manager will take the lead on the induction, and he'll decide what training needs to be covered for the employee to perform their tasks. And it should give them a welcome to the organisation all the way through to them being handed over to their mentor or buddy for ongoing on-the-job training. And you can see here the one that's already been completed for our last new starter that joined our PS team for the website. Our head of PS covered all aspects he felt would assist in his training. And this gives the new starter an understanding of what he'll be covering in his role. This helps him to build relationships with team members, and it also gives him links to training documents and links we use in the system, and includes the time he needs to review and take in what he's being taught. We can capture then what we know has been covered and what has actually happened to ensure they're giving the best training we can give. We also make sure in this time we've covered and arranged regular catch-up meetings with them, with their line manager and their mentor, to assess how they are progressing. And it's really important HR to check in with them to make sure they don't have any issues. If they do, this is a good time we can address any concerns before the new starter starts to feel unsettled. For employees who are working from the office, we also need to arrange lunches. So plan with one of the team members to have lunch with them and show them places to eat if they go out of the office and they're unsure of the area. It's just a friendly face to sit in the canteen. There's nothing worse than being a new person and no one to talk to. So this is all set up for their first day. How does that sound? Is there anything you're not clear on at this stage?
When you are working remotely, how do we capture health and safety?
Okay, Sarah, this is captured in our HR induction. So as you can see on the onboarding, on the actual onboarding plan for Ben, there was a slot assigned in HR admin. It's at the top of the third column, HR admin. And that's where we capture, where we follow all the HR processes, which I'll go over with you, what we cover in the HR induction. Is there anything you're not clear on, David?
No, I'm happy to continue.
Okay, so one thing that we do address, I'm just going to close that down and go back to the presentation. Are we sharing the presentation again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One thing we have to cover in the HR induction is the right to work. As part of Bamboo, the checklist template that you will get to see, there is something called UTech right to work. And there's a template there that this is never missed because it's so important, and this is done 7 days before the hire date. What we have to do, we must then check the employee has the right to work in the UK. So they must provide us with documents as proof that they are who they are and they've got the right to work in our country. We ask for 2 types of identification at this stage. What do you think a right to work document would be asked for, Sarah?
A passport?
Yeah, well done. David, do you have any ideas?
Driving license?
We do ask for a driving licence if they hold one, but this isn't actually a right to work document. This is actually a proof of address. The other forms of right to work are a birth certificate, national insurance documents showing their NI number. For proof of address, we can also ask for bank statements, utility bills. Actually, on the presentation, you'll see there are other things we can ask for. But I know you've already seen these when you do the U-check before the first date, but these must be also provided on the first date to ensure these are legitimate documents. These are listed on the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll send this over to you after the course, just in case you're unsure. Plus, you can always reach out to me or any other member of the HR team at headquarters. We're always open to advise on any issues like this. Just bear with me. We also have to do this process before they join the organisation, as it's a legal requirement. And if for any employees that are residing illegally in the company, we can incur large penalties. So it's very important this is completed before the hire date. And you can find the links on the presentation to the company we use to do these checks on our behalf. Okay, so next, employment law and legislation. As you know, under employment law and legislation, we've got many policies we're constantly updating, and new policies come into the organisation, which I'm sure you've received yourself. This is part of the process to ensure these are read and adhered to, and all policies are sent to the new employee at induction, where the employee has to sign them electronically via Bamboo, which is great because this records it. Sorry, my dogs are just going crazy. My daughter's just walked in the door and I can hear her shouting at them. Sorry, it's a little bit distracting. Bear with me. I think she's about to stop. Okay. God, that's thrown me right off course.
You were saying about recording things in Bamboo?
I was. Right, okay. So we need to ensure they've read them and they adhere to them. And this is where the health and safety is captured, Sarah. So should you have a new employee joining you at the office, there should be health and safety posters around the building, and we would ask you to do an office tour, which would include health and safety risks. So, for example, if you see someone drop some water, ensure it's cleaned up, and the wet floor notice is placed around until it's dry. Cover with the new employee where the fire exits are and the meeting point that's usually found in the car parks. Explain where fire extinguishers are and fire doors are, and they must remain shut at all times. Advise on the fire alarm testing. Let me just move on with that. Advise on fire alarm testing, as we have regular weekly testing at 3 p.m. every Friday, which is an intermittent sound. But if the alarm is ongoing, then they need to evacuate and to follow our process. COVID restrictions are adhered to at this time until the restrictions are lifted, and point out who the fire wardens and first aiders are. There should be photos on notice boards for the first aiders should they need assistance at any time and for any emergencies. Are you both aware of your fire points and who your relevant first aiders are in your departments, in your depots?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, me too.
Great. It's good to ensure if there's any changes, everyone's made aware of who they are, because the courses only last 3 years and some people might not want to renew them, so we might have to ask for a new volunteer. So we always need to make sure new photographs are displayed. Another part of the induction is to check company equipment allocated is working and all logins and passwords have been created and ready to go. This way, there's no hold up for the new starter getting ready for his first induction meeting. The IT manager should have received notification via Bamboo. This is done 7 days before the hire date, giving them plenty of time to get this set up. The ones that HR do cover systems wise is Bamboo and SharePoint. That's captured in the onboarding draft I showed you earlier. And anything else, the line manager will have requested all these and he'll take up with them in their first meeting. This is where you would log on to Bamboo also at this time on their laptop to show them how to add any personal details if they haven't already done so at the offer stage. And we also need to check their holiday entitlements being allocated and prorated correctly and show them how to book time off. Here we show them the process of taking time off and explain it needs to be agreed with the line manager before booking, as this is company policy. Company property here is issued, such as access to the office, if not working, so it'll be company cars, mobile phones, door fobs, keys. Once issued, these must be logged in Bamboo under the assets page, which can be found on the employees page under the tab titled job. Something else to discuss is one of the most important reasons we come to work, and that's being paid, of course, for what we do. So we need to explain the payroll process. Payday is mentioned in the contract of employment, but it's good to clarify this just to be sure they know. As we are on a payroll portal, ensure you send them the payroll portal process to get them logged on in time for payday. And this is a good time to ask them if they have their P45. And also you can either pop it into your calendar, but it is set up in Bamboo HR to notify you as well. And this is where we are ready then to hand over to our next meeting on the induction, which should be with the line manager, and we've hopefully timed it perfectly. So how do you feel about doing inductions now? I know there's lots to capture and get through, and I've gone through this so fast, but hopefully worth it to help with staff retention and good morale. Sarah?
It sounds like a good thorough process, and I like the fact that we have the draft onboarding plan. That's a brilliant idea. Do we hand that to the new starter so they know who they are meeting?
Yes, absolutely. This is given to them before their hire day, as their first meeting is set up. Their first setup is the introduction meeting with the HR director about the organisation. So that's always the first port of call. Anything else, Sarah?
No, like you say, lots to capture, but it's all there, so we can't miss it.
Okay. David, how do you feel?
I'm surprised. I didn't realise how much went into the induction until I've seen it written down. So it's not a case of just saying hello on the first day and then leaving you to your job.
No, it's not, and that's why we do what we do, as it's the worst thing that you can actually do to somebody. And as you can see from the video earlier, people just that don't feel engaged just kind of want to leave and regret leaving their job, their last job. So at the beginning of the, so at the beginning of the course, I asked you on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident would you feel doing your inductions? Can you remember what you said, Sarah?
Yes, it was a 3.
And how do you feel now?
Well, with all the guidance we've had here and the presentation, we can't really go wrong. So I'd say I'm definitely an 8, maybe a 9. I know the first one will be quite daunting, but doing something for the first time always is, if you want to get it right.
I agree, Sarah. You've also got us to support every step of the way, and if you feel you need any help, you can always come to us. And David, how about you?
I'm going to go more confident. I think a 9, but possibly a 10 once I've done it.
Cool. Well, I'm pleased you feel that way, and we are closer to the 10 mark. Are there any questions you would want to ask before we close the session this afternoon, Sarah?
No, thank you for today. It's been really informative.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad to hear that. What about you, David?
No, I'd echo what Sarah's just said. I think it's been really informative. So thanks for your effort and time.
Brilliant. Okay, so thanks for your feedback. I'll be sending on to you the video of today. And if you wouldn't mind completing the evaluation form about the course, as it helps us if we're not capturing what we should be, and it shows how efficient you feel it was and worthwhile. And if you've got any documents you feel would help, please feel free to ask. You have my contact details, so you can catch up with me at any time. Good luck with your inductions and let me know how you get on. And thank you and bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.